there wasn't that kind of people that were like violent and stuff like that. So I started to read a lot about Asperger's and people with it, and people living with people having Asperger's, and the very variations of it, by it, and how it could vary from people to people. And then I started to come up with a story, and I started to talk to Jonathan about it, and we started to, I don't know, we just started to work with this character Simon that, I don't know, it just, sometimes sometimes stories just come from nowhere. I don't know.
Bill, how did you train to be so good? Being so weird.
No, it was really a challenge for me. He's a special character, obviously, but it's really because I read a lot about the syndrome, and I decided to create my own character, create Simon, not just create someone who has Asperger's. Just create this character, Simon, and he's so so strict, and so he always have the same pattern of how he reacts to different things. So when I sort of found the characters, it was really easy to portray him in a way, because it was never debate about how he should react to different things, but it was all he's doing that, he's doing this, he's doing that, and I really felt that I got connected with the character so much that we could just sit and talk with Andreas, and I'm like, no, Simon wouldn't say that specific word. He would say with this word, and Andreas like, oh yeah, you're so right, So we really, all of us, and Jonathan as well, we really got to know Simon as a character, and on a level that as an actor you want every character you create to be that have that connection with it, so you're so comfortable with how he is and how he reacts to it.
Any question from the audience for our guest? Yes, please.
Okay, you talk with such perfect English. Are you Swedish?
I am, yeah.
And then why did you choose to use English when you spoke inside the barrel?
Oh.
I think I can answer that, but I think we had. I think Simon's kind of fascination for space is coming a lot from science fiction movies, which is from 90% of the 90% of the cases are American. So that's why we choose that he felt really really calm and really in this being in kind of a fictional world, being not speaking Swedish but speaking English, which is kind of interesting because we had I don't know if you noticed that, but his brother is a lot worse in speaking English, and we wanted to also show that in the first scene where his brother talks not as good English, and Simon talks really good English, that they had, even though he's hidden in a can or in a what do you say? Barrel or whatever. He has some kind of intellectual level that is higher at some points, and at some points he's lower, or whatever you want to call it. So it was both a tool and a kind of I don't know, just a thing we came up with.
Tall, and I want to know how you fit in it.
Stretching.
Didn't you?
No, that we didn't know if because they created this can, or this barrel, and Andreas tried it and he fit in it, but they didn't actually know if I was able to fit in it or not. And I came to set, and we were ready to shoot, and they're like, oh shit, you have to try if you fit in this thing or not. And obviously I fit somehow. I had to bend up my legs, and I said, and I'm telling you, it if the scenes were longer, and sometimes they like forgot me in there. So, they're cutting out. I sat in there like, okay, are we cutting out? Can I come out? I mean, I can't feel my legs anymore.
It was actually, you know, when you see the poster, it's like red from one part, and then it's like silver, like 2 decimeter or something. And that was actually, we kind of expanded it, and it's my dad who kind of made that different. It's an old kind of milk, I don't know, some kind of, yeah. So we had to remake it from being that and to like make it a little bit higher. Yeah.
Yes. It was finished like 3 days before, and we were casting while we were shooting. So, for instance, when we find out that this guy playing the bus driver shows that okay, he's also going to be the waiter at the end. We combined those two after we casted, so and that affected the script. We kind of developed all things. It was everything going on the same time, while we also were location scouting. And it was a very quick process, and I think for this film very good because we didn't have time to have any second thoughts about anything, only going by instinct. We didn't have any executives. Well, we had 6 weeks. Thank you.
Jerry McGuire.
No, and yes.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, they have American distribution, and if anybody has to remake the movie.
Yeah, we don't have American distribution. Yes. Yeah, but we,
Don't remake it.
We won't remake it. We might sell it.
I have a question for you as a producer, besides being a fantastic policeman, eating your ice cream. How difficult it was to find the money to do this?
It was easy because we had no money.
well, it's not entirely true, but I have a co-producer, Bonnie Skogfin, who's not here tonight. She will come tomorrow probably. And she was kind of financing it while we were writing and casting the movie. So she was doing the financing. But mostly we did a lot. We put in almost all our own salaries into the movie, and we didn't have financing for the post-production. We only had financed it for the shooting while we decided to shoot it. And during the shooting, Andrea sat and edited the short teasers from the first week, and from that we got financing for because this is our first film, and everybody told us you can't do film like this. You have to follow the usual steps, and you have to go to find this and that money, and you have to ask for permission to make films. So it's been a very remarkable process. There was a time when we felt that, okay, we don't have enough money to follow our vision of the film. At the same time, Bill and your brother and Andreas and I sat down and read the script, and it was such an emotional read, and they told us, oh, this is so much fun to do this film, this is the best script we read. And Andreas and I looked at each other and like, okay. And then we decided to shoot a film without really having money to finish it. And that to be the right decision. Yes, please.
The movie itself visually stunning, and I think the art helps us understand the characters so much, or helps explain a really difficult to understand Was that written into the script, or was that expected from the production?
It was written in the script because, well, I'm kind of a visual director, and I really like finding ways of having visual stories. And I thought this character Simon, with this kind of really specific character, was such a perfect way of creating a visual world. So it's kind of part of why we made this, because it was a visual story as well.
Sweden, do they really have those buttons? Do they really wear buttons like that?
Mostly kids, like indie kids, and they have like a band or something. But you mean people with Asperger's? No, it's Simon. It's yeah, and you should say, I mean, not all people with Asperger's don't like to be touched. It's just a few.
Simon.
No, but it's a few. But it's him made it himself.
Any other questions? Oh, yes, please.
I really love the film. Wonderful.
Thanks.
And did I understand you to say that this will not be in distribution here in the States?
I wouldn't say no. We haven't got a distribution yet, but we're hoping for it. We're actually the Swedish contribution for Oscar. I don't know if you know that it says on the poster. So if we get nominated for, we'll definitely be distributed. I hope. I don't know. Yeah, me and Jonathan have written kind of a coming of age story that is about a girl who is going after her graduation. She's leaving for New York, she thinks, but she ends up missing the plane and have to stay hidden from her old hometown, because she can't be so embarrassed coming back to the town and be defeated by this, because she's I shouldn't tell the whole story, but it's going to be more drama, a little bit more drama, but still has this kind of humorous touches to it, and some visual touches as well.
Well, we thank you again for this film, and we hope that you